A very good and blessed morning to you, my brothers and sisters. This Sunday, the fifth Sunday of Lent, the Church presents us with another beautiful story from the Gospel of John, just like the two past Sundays. This Sunday story is about the death and the rising of Lazarus from death. Have you ever had an experience where someone you love, someone you are close to, die? Can you remember the pain, the tears, the heartbreak, the enormous absence which fills the whole world? In my life, the pain of losing someone I love is the most excruciating pain I have ever experienced. With this being said, we can start imagining what pain Mary and Martha were going through. We can start imagining the pain which actually Jesus himself was going through. When Lazarus was still sick, the two sisters sent a message to Jesus: "The one whom you love is ill." These are words that are carefully chosen. These are words that are meant to appeal to Jesus. And with these words, they thought that Jesus will drop everything and come straight away. But what did he do? We hear from the Gospel that he stayed there 2 more days. But why? This may even have made the pain of Martha and Mary worse. They had put their trust in him. And even actually when he comes, we hear them saying, "If you were there, if only you had come. But since you didn't come, look where we are. Look what has happened." And actually, we are told in the Gospels that the absence of Jesus was essential, because the glory of God was to be revealed. The Son of Man was to be glorified through this death. Just as the blindness of the man who was born blind in the Gospel of last Sunday served to show Jesus as the light, so the death of Lazarus serves to show Jesus as the life. Reaching the tomb, Jesus asked them to open the tomb. And after the protest and eventually giving in, they opened the tomb. And after a short prayer, Jesus saying, "Thank you, Father, for listening to me," we hear that he cried out, "Lazarus, come out." Boom, the dead man walks out of the grave. What a change of things. What a complete change. Dear brothers and sisters, this story of Lazarus proclaims the great truth about Jesus. Jesus is the Lord of life. And Jesus himself actually will say, I am the truth, I am the way, and I am the life. Reflecting on this gospel, I was asking myself, how does it impact my life? Then I realized that there are actually a lot of situations in my life that are dead. Situations I've given up, I've lost hope, and they remain where they are, buried, covering the sting. And yet, if I open my life to Jesus, and yet if I'm able to hear the word of Jesus, because if the dead man could hear the word of Jesus, Lazarus come out and obey it, what more me and you who are alive? You see, our society, our families, even our individual lives are filled with many dead situations. And I think this gospel of today is encouraging us, is inviting us to approach Jesus, to open our graves for Jesus. Because this is what God promises even in the first reading when he says through the prophet Ezekiel, behold, I will open your graves and raise you from your graves. The God we believe in is a God who is life, a God who is life-giving, a God who, when we allow him to be part of our lives, he opens those graves and he imparts life into those dead situations. So I invite you, my dear brothers and sisters, to take a moment of reflection. Think of those things, of those situations that are dead in my family, that are dead in my life. Maybe a child who is addicted to drugs, maybe a husband who is addicted to alcohol, it may be a marriage which is on the rocks. The list continues. Jesus is calling me and you not to give up. Jesus is willing to touch those situations. Jesus is willing to speak to me and you regarding those situations. And as we saw from the gospel, what Jesus gives is life. Do I want that life? Do you want that life? Then Jesus is waiting. Open your heart. Invite him in. Let him see. Because he loves you. He loves me. Imagine he died for us. So nothing will stop him from giving life to our dead situations. Amen.